Welcome everybody to a new My Hero Academia video. And guys, I bring to you a new and improved PvP tier list. I already made one when I first started my account, but I didn't really know what I was talking about back then, honestly. I was just making things up as I went. So yeah, this is a PvP tier list based off of my own experience. Remember guys that this is just my opinion. Please don't take this too hard, and you know, keep the comments respectful, please. Yeah, let's just get into it right away. And we're gonna start with All Might, of course. All Might is honestly, he's rank S. Yeah, he is on S for sure. I would like to put him on A, honestly, just because I hate him. But he is on S. He's not at the very top of the food chain, honestly, in my opinion. Unless you play him, you know, like disgusting mode, right? Like basically spamming tornadoes. Dude, if you go into PvP to spam tornadoes with All Might, just quit, please. I don't know. I really hate that character because of that. I hate him. I hate him so much because it's unavoidable. The tornadoes are unavoidable. They drag you in. They deal tons of damage, and he can just spam them non-stop. You know, I know a lot of people hate Deku, but Deku, at least he only has his Q and then it's on cooldown, and he has to land his W to get his Qs off of a cooldown, right? And he's vulnerable in the meantime because it doesn't do much if he can't land the Q, right? Well, All Might is like, dude, it's so hard to find a vulnerable point for All Might. And like a lot of people I've heard, you know, they just say, oh, go with Kirishima, and Kirishima, no, because the tornado ignores your Q on Kirishima. Like, so I hate All Might. I hate All Might on all modes of like all game modes in this game, because I also hate him in Scoop also. So I hate All Might. But yeah, he is an S regardless. Let's see, then we have Denki. Denki's D for sure. Denki's trash tier for sure. All of his attacks are way too telegraphed, especially his Q, way too easy to dodge. He's super vulnerable. You know, if he come close, he can use his W, yeah, but only if you didn't, you know, stagger him or stun him, or didn't lock him in the combo, which is very easy to do. He doesn't have like much hyper armor at all. Denki is just trash tier for sure. Kirishima is I'd like to put him on S, but he's actually just A. The reason why is because, you know, now with Endeavor and also All Might, you know, those two characters just have ways of dealing with his Q. Also, you know, another S tier character that we'll mention later also has ways to deal with his Q. So, you know, while he is amazing in a ton of matchups, in fact, my lineup is right now is Endeavor, Kirishima, Izawa. He really struggles against, you know, the limited characters, I guess you could call, right? So yeah, he's not that great. I mean, he is amazing, but not top tier. Top tier, right? He is top tier, but not top tier. anyway, you get the point. Izawa is, of course, S tier, of course, especially if you know how to use him. A lot of people don't know how to use him and just spam stuff. He is a tiny little bit different than in PvE, because his Q does have a longer cooldown. But if you know how to use Izawa, you're just unstoppable. I was just playing ranked just now, and I was against a Momo. Of course, Momo destroyed my Endeavor, then she destroyed my Kirishima, and I was just left with Izawa. And Izawa literally cut through the enemies Momo, Izawa, and then Uraka. Just cut through all three of them. Izawa is just top tier, dude. Izawa is like unbeatable. He's so good if you know how to play him. He's so good. I would say All Might definitely, you know, like, again, if he just spams tornadoes, then nothing you can do. But yeah, other than that, Izawa is definitely top tier. Then we have Takoyami. Takoyami, I'm gonna put him on A. I know a lot of people are gonna be mad about that, but the thing with Takoyami is two things, actually. So one is that he has a lot of entry points for the enemy, right? Like, it's easy to engage him when he's starting his Q, when he's finishing his Q. You know, like, his animations are very telegraphed, they're very slow. His E is in a very long cooldown. Yeah. Also, another thing about Takoyami is that, well, at least in my experience, I tried him in PvP and I didn't like him because he's just like Todoroki, both of them. Their abilities are so noisy. You know what I mean? Like, they just occupy so much of the screen. There's so much going on. There's so much noise in the screen. It's just hard to tell what's going on. So when I tried him on PvP, I tried him for a while, and it's just, a lot of the times I would be like, oh yeah, I'm destroying my opponent, and then like all of my abilities will clear up and I'm actually getting my ass beaten, you know? Like, I don't think Takoyami is S tier. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people do think so, but I really don't. Moving on, we have Deku. Deku, I'm actually gonna put him on B tier. I know a lot of people hate Arena because of Deku, but guys, Deku is not that hard to deal with. You know, especially in the lower tiers, right? Deku would, like most Dekus, will actually just Q as, like, they will spam Q as soon as the fight starts. And so, you know, that's very, very easy to predict. All you have to do is do the same, just spam dodge before the fight starts, and then he's done for. You know, like, all you have to do is dodge his Q, which I know sounds easier than it actually is in game. But yeah, it's all about just dodging his Q. If you manage to dodge his Q, he's very vulnerable. He does have to land his W. But dude, just dodge Deku's Q, swap into Kirishima, wait for him, or try to bait his Q, then just counter it with your own Q, with Kirishima's Q. Because I'm sorry, I'm saying it wrong. Sorry. Let me say that again. Just when the fight starts, dodge Deku's Q, then swap into Kirishima while his Q is on cooldown, then Q with Kirishima, use Kirishima's counter, and Deku will try to W you so that he can refresh his Q's cooldown. And Deku's W is actually very slow, so it's very, very easy to you know, like, put up your counter with Kirishima before the W lands. So yeah, Deku is really not that bad if you know how to play against him. It just takes a little bit of practice. I know a lot of people have a really hard time against him, but you just gotta practice a little bit and get the hang of it, and I promise it's not as hard as it seems. Then we have Bakugou. Bakugou is... Bakugou, I'm gonna put him on C tier, honestly. Just because Bakugou is very similar to Deku in the sense that he absolutely must land his W, otherwise he's just there, you know, like he can hope to land a lucky E, otherwise he just has to run around waiting for his W to come back from cooldown, because his auto attacks are interruptible, you know, his E is hard to land on like if you're coming from nothing, his E is kind of hard to land, his Q doesn't work if you don't land something. So yeah, Bakugou is definitely C tier, for sure. Ogiro, I'm gonna put him on D tier, just because I really have no clue how good or how bad Ogiro is in PvP. I don't think I've ever faced a single Ogiro in my life in PvP. I have no idea whatsoever how good or how bad, so I'm just gonna put him on D. Might be better, might be worse, I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea. If anybody plays him in PvP, please let me know what your experience has been, because I have no clue. I don't even know what Ogiro does. He looks really cool, you know, the times that I've used him for hero ratings and you know, the training missions and stuff. He like actually looks and sounds really cool, you know, the idea looks very cool, but I don't know, honestly. I don't know why people don't run him. I know he's very unpopular, but I don't know exactly the reason why. But anyways, Minera is gonna be C tier for sure. Just I'm only putting him on C tier because I have gotten my ass kicked for a couple, you know, by a couple good Mineras. But in general, he suffers pretty much the same thing as Denki. His abilities are very telegraphed. Minera, all of his abilities shoot forward, right in front of him, so all you have to do is try to keep to his sides or back and you're good to go. And guess which character can actually keep to the opponent's back all the time? Guess who? Guess who? Anyways, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, Minera is just honestly, you have to be extremely good with him to actually land abilities and, you know, actually be able to do stuff. Otherwise, he's trash. So yeah, only reason why I'm putting him on C tier is because I have encountered a few expert Mineras that have kicked my ass. But in general, Mineras are pretty bad. Then we have Momo. Momo is S tier in my opinion. I don't know if anybody's going to disagree with that. I imagine some people would. But to me, Momo is S tier. I feel like Momo is extremely unfair. Not because of her kit, her abilities. She's very similar to Izawa in the sense that she has like something for every situation, right? But I think she's unfair because her turrets actually don't leave the field when you kill her, or well, I don't know if when you kill her, I don't remember if you kill her, if they disappear, but her turrets don't disappear if you swap out, right? So if you're against a Momo and she puts down a bunch of turrets and then she swaps into, I don't know, Kirishima or whatever, like the turrets won't go away, and that is extremely unfair, especially if she swaps for All Might. Like, if someone puts a bunch of turrets down and then swaps for All Might, like, what are you ever going to do? The turrets will just stagger you and deal tons of damage to you, while All Might just, like, slaps you around like a ragdoll. Like, Momo is extremely unfair because of the turrets. Other than that, she's very good because she has a ton of stuff in her toolkit, and just like Izawa. She's actually, well, her and All Might are the only two characters that I don't have. So I'm only speaking from, you know, the experience of facing her. I've never actually been able to play with her because, like I said, All Might and her are the only two characters that I don't have in my account. So I don't know. But yeah, then we have Uraka. Uraka, you know, she certainly was A tier before Endeavor's fix. I don't know now because Endeavor can bring her down fairly easily. I'm gonna put her on A anyway, just because she's a very good champion for anything else, especially against Momo. Uraka is actually a very good counter to Momo because Momo can't do anything while Uraka is in the air. So if you know how to play your cards with Uraka, of course, right? Because when you're in the floor, you're gonna be in trouble if you don't know what you're doing. But yeah, Uraka is a good counter for Momo. One of the few, honestly, because, you know, even Kirishima, that's what I was gonna say at first, right? Kirishima against Momo just pops the Q with their turrets, so it's very annoying. It's hard to catch her off guard with Kirishima's Q. So yeah, Momo's really annoying. But yeah, Uraka actually counters Momo pretty well. You know, like if you manage to stay in the air for long enough and then, you know, be able to not get melted as soon as you land, then Uraka is pretty good against Momo, and then she's good against pretty much everyone else, honestly. You know, against All Might, obviously you have to bait All Might, I think it's his W, the one that can drop her from the air, so you have to bait that before you go into the air. Aizawa can't bring her down once in the air, but, you know, it's kind of hard because Aizawa can teleport towards you and keep you from ever getting up. So yeah, anyways, moving on. Uraka is very good. Todoroki, I'm gonna put him on C, I think. I'm gonna put Todoroki on C, yeah. Just because Todoroki, you need to absolutely have to land his W's, because his Ice W's, because if not, you just get on his face and there's nothing he can do. You know, if you stick to him, there's not much he can do, so he absolutely needs to kite you with his Ice W so that he can freeze you and then unleash his combo and hopefully stun you long enough to kill you. So yeah, again, like, it sounds very similar to Bakugou, actually. So yeah, that's why they're on the same tier, to be completely honest. Ida is just gonna go to trash tier. I'm sorry to all of those Ida fans out there. Ida is very similar to Ogiro in the sense that I've faced very few Idas, very few, and I don't know. I don't even honestly don't know what he brings to the table. Like, he's just an auto attack champion, and auto attacks are just disruptible. You know, I know his aren't after a certain point, but Ida is just too easy to deal with, in my opinion, honestly. It's just too interruptible. I don't really like it either. I love him for PvE. He sounds like a really fun, like, same as Ogiro, right? Ida and Ogiro are like the same thing for me. I would really love to learn how to play them for PvE, because they actually look like a lot of fun in PvE, but I'm not willing to, you know, just pour all of my or a ton of resources into them just so that I can play them on PvE. I rather put resources into, you know, heroes that I can actually use on all of the game modes. So yeah. Anyways, and yeah, when I say that I want to spend resources in my character so I can play them in PvP, I do mean scoop. Obviously, arena doesn't count because arena doesn't take into account your chips or your talents or all of that stuff. So yeah, 2 is going to trash tier. So same thing as Ida and Ogiro. I never in my life seen a Tsu, I think. Well, I might have seen a couple, but nothing too memorable, obviously. She really does nothing. Like, the only thing that she has going for her is the invisibility, and I don't know. I just spam attacks until like I either hit her or she like runs out of her invisibility, and then I just smack her. I don't know. Anyways, now we have Endeavor. Now Endeavor, I'm gonna put Endeavor on A tier, not S. I don't think he's S tier, honestly. And the reason why is because, like same reason for a lot of other characters, his abilities are interruptible, and I hate that so much. The only thing that cannot be interrupted is his lance throw, I think, and his W. But his punch into the air, his E into the air is interruptible. His lance form E is interruptible. Pretty sure his lance form W is interruptible. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure. So I hate when people just interrupt my abilities and they just go into cooldown, and it's like, okay, well, time to run around and wait for my W cooldown to come back, right, so that I can stagger the opponent and try to land everything again. But one thing that I will say is that Endeavor, if you manage to land a good W, right, that actually staggers your opponent, you're in for a good time. You're most likely going to win that, because all you have to do is just charge your W, stagger your opponent, and then full auto attack combo, E, full auto attack combo, and then W while they stand back up, you know, from their hyper armor, and then they stagger back again, and, you know, full auto attack combo, E, full auto attack combo, and they're done. It's very, very, very annoying, very easy. It's very Deku-like, honestly. But yeah, like I said, if they recover at some point, if they use their hyper dodge or something at the right moment, and then they start interrupting your abilities, it's very hard to come back. Especially if you lose your rhythm when you're in lance form. You know, if you have to go into lance form and then you lose your rhythm, and, you know, they start bashing you and you can't activate your shield because you're perma-stunned and stuff like that, then yeah, sad, very sad times. But yeah, I think that's gonna be the tier list. I think it looks okay. Let me know in the comments if you disagree. But that's gonna be the video, guys. Leave a comment if you agree. Leave a comment if you enjoyed, more like it, and then leave a comment if you agree or disagree, and we can have a discussion. Please be civil in the comments, and subscribe if you'd like more videos like this, and I'll see you on the next one.